everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time joining, thank you. If you are a previous subscriber or you're coming from a previous video on my channel, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to continue on with my new video series on English paper piecing. This will be part 2 of that series. And if you have not seen the first video, please refer to that video because I give some information and I tell you about this great book that I found. I found this book at my local library when I wanted to do some more research on English paper piecing, and I found that this book has some fantastic information. And since I knew I was going to be using this book a lot, I went ahead and purchased it on Amazon. And you can just do a search of All Points Patchwork. I meant to include the link in the description box of the first video, and I think I might have forgot to do that. But you can find it if you just do a search on All Points Patchwork. You can find the book used for, I believe, around $11. I paid $19.99 for it on Amazon, brand new. There are other places that I've seen that it goes for $25. So you can just shop around for it and see if you can find one a little bit cheaper, or if you'd rather have it new like I did on Amazon. So I'll be referring a lot to this book. I'm not sponsored by this author in any way. I just really like this book. So what we will be doing today is I'm going to continue on and show you the basic supplies you will need to get started for English paper piecing. And when I say basic, I really mean basic. These few supplies are all that you will need to get started, and I will be doing another video on supplies that you can expand on, and specific supplies that were created for English paper piecing. So to get started, what we're going to do is we are first going to talk about choosing your template. There's some really great points in this book that I want to go over. And when you choose a template, there are many different types of paper that you can use to create a template. And I have found that I have two favorites, and I have those here. But to get started, you can go online and you can print out templates. You can just do either a Google search or anything like that, whatever search engine that you choose. And I believe I searched as free English paper piecing templates, and these are some of the sites that I found, and I thought I would share those with you to make it a little bit easier for you. The first one that I like is thelittlemushroomcap.com, and she offers some really nice templates that you can print out and then just cut them out. And this one is a 1-inch elongated hexagon template. And if you notice, here is your elongated hexagon. And there's also some 1-inch squares in this. Okay, Luna is coming to visit, so I'm going to... Okay, get up on your steps. Get up there. Get up there. Good girl. She likes to sit out... on this little platform I made for her so she can see out my office window. So if you're new to my channel, you have never seen Luna, and Luna is the crafty kitty, and she is my channel mascot, my sewing room mascot, And if you see more of my videos in the future, you will see her in those videos. Okay, so back to our templates. Maybe not. She loves paper, so she always has to come and check it out. Can you get up on your... Can you get up there? Come on. Up. Come on. She wants attention today. Come on, hon. Get up on your... Get up there. Get up there. Okay, I'm going to set her down so we can get our video going. Okay, so back to templates. Okay, so this was from the Little Mushroom Cap, and I was saying that these are 1-inch elongated templates or elongated hexagon templates, and they also include some 1-inch squares here. So if you're printing these out and you're cutting out your elongated hexagon, you can save your squares as well and use those in future designs, and we will get to those in the future. But the ones we're going to mainly work with in these tutorials to start out with are just going to be regular 1-inch hexagon templates, which are these. And but this website, thelittlemushroomcap.com, is one of my favorite ones to print off, and she's got many different designs. So definitely check out her site, and they're really simple to print out, and you can use the paper that whatever you print them out on. The next site I really like is called Getta's Quilting Studio, and it is GETAS quiltingstudio.com. And I believe what I had to do in order to print out any of these templates was to join their email list. And I was able to, they would send me a confirmation email or something like that so I could download the designs and print them out. And Getta's Quilting Studio has a template pack that you can print out if you check the newsletter, I believe, and you get several different designs in that pack. So you get... let me show you what you get here. You get a 2-inch half hexagon, a 2-inch diamond, and a 2-inch triangle. You get, so with this one, you can do your, you can either use this as a half hexagon or you can use it as a 2-inch hexagon. Just don't cut on your dotted line when you separate those. There's also this little design right here. If you see that, you can save those as well and put them together. Like if you see here on the book front here, you can see that those are designs as well. We will get into more designs in the future. And I don't want to get too much off topic of the templates since we are going to be starting with hexagon. Kind of want to keep it simple in the beginning, but this does give you an idea of the different kinds of templates that are out there. So you get 1/2-inch hexagons, 1 1¼ diamond with triangle. Those are more. You get a 1-inch half hexagon, 3/4 inch half hexagon, 1/2-inch half hexagons, and these do have the hexagons here as well. 1/2-inch diamonds, 3/4 inch diamond. I printed out a lot of the 1-inch diamond and 1-inch triangle. I thought I would be doing a design with that, and I probably will in the future. So there's that sign, or that site, excuse me. Then we have another one, which is called applegreencottage.com, and these are very simplistic templates. You get a 1-inch, there's a 1-inch template, a 3/4 inch template, and I think that was it on that one. I printed off several of the 3/4 inch. I just wanted those to have in my files for future project. Now, there are also sites that will offer full patterns for free, along with the templates. So when you get more advanced into English paper piecing, or if you want to jump in and go all for it, you can print out the templates with the pattern. And what's really good with this one is from Today's Quilter, and it's called the Kaleidoscope EPP. This is a wall hanging pattern, and it's by Laura Pritchard, and it'll have a page like this where you can color in your templates so you know how many you will need for your pattern. Then there's more. This one's called a water wheel quilt, and it'll tell you what type of paper pieces you will need, how many you'll need, so things like that. But to keep it simple in the videos, to begin with, we're just going to stick with the hexagons, and move that up there. So when you choose your template, you want to choose, I don't know if I'd say the product or the paper. The paper that you're going to make your template out of will be important. Let's see, how can I phrase it? Actually, the product that you make your paper template out of, you can go as simple as printing paper, which is like so. There are pros and cons to using printer paper. So this would be scrap paper. You can use the flyers that you get in the mail, and they're really great for hexagons and tumbler shapes and octagons, pentagons, things with wide angles like these are. Because it's a really flimsy paper. So you need to make sure that when you do attach your fabric to your template, that you're really careful that you're not folding the paper at the same time. So that's one of the cons of scrap paper. A pro of using scrap paper is that you'll find it anywhere from junk mail. You can even use old pages from old books that you don't want to throw out. You can use that paper, things like that. Our next template will be cardstock, and that's what these templates are made out of. These are going to be probably my most favorite template to use. And if you're familiar with my channel, you'll know that I do my embroidery, my machine embroidery, and I purchased a package of cardstock from Walmart for my machine embroidery greeting cards. And so I just had a whole pack of the cardstock already on hand. So it was really easy for me to be able to make templates. And a good thing with using cardstock for your templates is that it's reusable. You're going to be able to get several different hexagons made with your cardstock. And if you get a slight bend in your cardstock, you can iron it to smooth them back out. So they're reusable. Cardstock's not going to bend as easy and it's less great. It's best used for any shape, especially those with sides measuring 3 inches or less. Shapes with sides longer than 3 inches, large templates are best made from paper, so they're more flexible and easy to handle. So pros, I mentioned that cardstock won't bend during as much when you're stitching. Cons are basting through cardstock can be somewhat hard on your hands. And when we get to basting, I will show you some techniques on easier ways to baste. When we get to that, I will show you why I don't like basting actually through the paper. You don't have to do that. There are easier ways. For cardstock, you can also find these type of flyers in your mail, and they're basically the same material as cardstock. Very cheap. Saves you from putting them in the landfill. Get some use out of them. You can also use the, you know, the little subscription cards you get, like if you have your quilting magazines or anything like that in magazines. Save those, and you can make your templates with that. Okay, so now my second most favorite product to make templates out of is freezer paper. And you can buy big rolls of freezer paper like this. And this is 100 square foot, and I paid under $10 for this roll. I want to say it was under actually $8. The first time I bought it though, it was closer to $11. You will have to shop around in stores for it. I went to 3 different Walmarts, one in my town, didn't have it. Then I went into Albuquerque and they actually had it. So kind of like look around in your stores to find it. You can purchase this on Amazon as well. So there's that. One thing I like using the freezer paper for is because it has a paper side and it has a shiny side. And I don't know, I'm trying to get that, you can kind of see that it's shiny on there. And a great thing with this is that you can iron it to your fabric and it's going to stay in place until you get to your pieces to baste your fabrics. When you baste them, you can iron it down, and then you can fold your fabric to baste them. I will show you that when we get to that part. It is reusable. You can usually get at least one reuse out of your freezer paper templates. There are ways around that though to get more than one reuse out of them, and I'll show you that as well when we get to basting. Cons is with any paper template, it's easy to accidentally fold the fabric, or when you're folding over your fabric, it is easy to fold the paper as well. So I will show you actually when we baste an easy way to avoid that. So there's that. Then there are reusable plastic templates, and I will show you what I mean by that. You can purchase plastic templates that are a thin plastic, and you can see here on the picture, but there are also templates that you can buy, and I'm kind of getting away from basic templates here, but there are templates like these that you can purchase. I purchased these on Amazon, and this is actually a 1-inch template. I know you wouldn't think this is a 1-inch, but hopefully you can see that okay. But if you see where the little holes are in it, These templates not only can you draw out your paper your paper template, but these are also used for cutting your fabric templates that you will baste to the paper template. And I will do another video on that in the future. So there's that. What you can also do with these is, let me find the shape here. So this is a 1-inch diamond template. And what I went and did is, if you're familiar, I'm sure you're familiar with it, but the plastic placemats that you can get at Walmart, like on the end caps, they're like maybe less than $1.88 a template, or a placemat. You can draw out your templates on those, and you can see that, I hope you can see that okay, that it matches my circles on the template. So you can make a dot where each one of the circles is and draw a line from those circles. And you can make your own plastic reusable templates. So you can make a lot of these, or you can make just one and you can trace them out on paper and then cut them out yourself. So there's that way that you can make your templates inexpensive. So these are really good. They will last a long time. If you want to make them all out of your placemat plastic, you can make how many ever you want, maybe, 20, 30, whatever you want. So you have a lot of them on hand, so you can prepare many shapes, sew them together, and then remove the template. These are, the only fallback on these is this is a little heavy if you're going to be doing a lot of pieces together. So that's why I recommend just making one and then tracing them out on whatever paper you're going to use and make your reusable paper templates. So I will show you that in a future video. If anybody wants to see that, please comment down below on how you can make your own templates by tracing with the acrylics. I did purchase this on Walmart, and we'll get into this. You don't have to purchase these. You don't. This is like one of those added supplies as you progress. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, so we've gone through our templates. Like I said, I really like the cardstock ones the best, and the freezer paper. So now our next thing, or I'm sorry, your next supply would be fabric. In my project, in the first video, I showed you the fabric that I was using. I showed you hexagons like these in that first video, and these are going to be for a project that I'm going to be working for myself. And so I showed you these, and what I did is I'm using fabric that I am cutting my fabric from yardage. So that's these. I've got a pretty blue and white stripe. I've got my butterfly floral. I have a white on white. Hope you can see that okay. And then I've got a solid blue. So I will be cutting all my templates from, or my hexagons from these fabrics. But if you haven't seen the first video, please refer to that, because it tells you a lot about how English paper piecing was started. And the reason English paper piecing was started was a way to use up scrap material. in the early 1700s, when English paper piecing was first started, it was started in a way to be a way to use your scrap material. Back in the day, you didn't want to waste a lot, so it was a way that you were able to use those scraps. So that's what I'm going to be doing when I'm showing you how to baste your fabrics and things. I'm going to be using some scrap fabrics so I don't use up my fabric that I am using for a specific project. So when you choose your fabrics, if you're going to be doing it by yardage, that's great. But you're able to, when you're choosing your fabric for specific projects, there's several different things you can do that. Okay, I'm kind of getting off track there a little. There are ways to use yardage in specific ways, and I will get to that in a future video. But when you're choosing your fabrics, to start off, I recommend using scraps or whatever. Okay, so then you're going to, like you can see, this is different fabrics. Then you're going to want a few other supplies. So our first one was our templates. Second one was our fabric. Then you're going to want needles. I have a lot of these little needle packs. These are just craft needles. Then I have assorted needles, hand sewing needles. I even have one for quilting needles, for hand quilting. I have some that are for embroidery. I have seen some people on other videos use embroidery needles, but the eye is a little larger on the needle. And if you want real small, nice, precise stitches, I would, in my personal opinion, I would recommend using just hand needles. And the reason why I say that is because the eyes on the needles are a lot smaller and the needles are finer, so you're going to produce a nicer stitch. In my research, I have learned that some of the best needles to use for English paper piecing they're called in-betweens, and another of the best ones to use are called sharps. They come in multiple sizes, and the size refers to usually the length of the needle. So definitely experiment with your needles. Some people won't like the small needles. Some people will like a longer needle. So play around with your needles a little bit to figure out which one's going to work best for you, which is going to fit better in your hand. One of my favorites to use is, you can see this little tiny one. I really like using these because they give me a really nice fine stitch, and I'm not taking really big stitches with them. So I really like this one. This one is just over, it's about 1.25 inches. So it's really small, and that's what I like doing my hand sewing with. So there's this one, and there's actually one that's about 1.5 inches that I like using. So you may not like one that small, so definitely experiment with your needles. Then your next thing is you are going to want thread. A lot of other English paper piecing sewers will recommend either 100% cotton thread or a cotton poly blend thread. I like using 100% polyester. That is usually what I use for a lot of my sewing projects. I also have my 100% polyester embroidery thread, which is a really nice strong thread, but it is a 40 weight thread and it's very fine. You can see that there. And it will melt, kind of like melt in your fabric, and your stitches will kind of disappear. So I've played with this one a little bit. I do like using the cotton, the 100% Sherlock. This is the Sherlock brand, and it's usually used for serging, and I use it a lot for when I quilt. It's just preference. When you are choosing your threads, some people will match their thread color to their fabric so it disappears as well. I have found so far in my experience that I just like using the white thread. It will keep my costs down a little bit, and I don't have to really worry about buying additional threads. Okay, so I will try to get another video on threads. I'll see how that goes, but right now these are the two that I will be using. If I do experience some other threads in the future, I will kind of update that and maybe do another video. So another basic supply are pins. Some people like to pin their template to their fabric. I do and I don't. It depends on what I'm doing at that point. I like pinning it when I'm at this point right here where I've taken the template and cut my fabric, and then I'll just pin it to it until I get to it to basting. So there's that. So some nice sharp straight pins. Some people like to use sequin pins or applique pins because they're a lot smaller. They're about a 1/2 inch long compared to what these ones are. These are basically 1 inch long. These work for me fine. I don't have a problem with them, but you do make sure that they are nice and sharp. So there's that. Then you're going to want some scissors. I have many different pair here, so this will just give you an idea. You don't have to have all these kind of scissors, so don't think that you have to go out and buy a whole bunch of scissors. These are just some of the ones that I have. I didn't realize I had so many scissors. From where I'm sitting, I can count an additional, there's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 more pairs of scissors here around me. So when you are cutting your fabric out, I'm going to grab these. You can use your fabric scissors, or you can use pinking shears. And if you've never seen pinking shears, you can kind of see that they're kind of zigzagged there. And it's going to give you a zigzagged edge on your fabric. Some people like using pinking shears because they say that your fabric edges will fray less. I think it's just preference. You don't need them, but if you have them, by all means try them. Then you're going to want paper scissors as well. I use these for cutting my paper. I like using them because they're small and I'm able to get cut the smaller pieces easier with a smaller pair of scissors. These are embroidery scissors. All of these are either, some of them are called applique scissors, some are called embroidery scissors. They're kind of basically the same thing. You'll see that they have a really sharp point on them, and that's for getting into those little small areas, things like that. Then there are this type that are almost like manicure scissors, but they're also embroidery or applique scissors. This one has, you can see that it's kind of curved, and it kind of will help you get into those smaller areas. Then some thread snips. So I think, oops, almost forgot. You're going to want just a simple seam ripper. That way, if you have to take your pieces apart, you can do that as well. I have found also that if you don't have a seam ripper, you can use your small scissors, like this pair. You can get in there and you can cut those stitches really easily and take out your stitches. Do be careful if you're using scissors though, so you don't cut your fabric. I think that is it for your basic supplies. I believe our next video, I will be showing you how to take your actual template, either to attach it to your fabric and to baste, or you can, quickly, I forgot that you are going to want some type of iron. It does not have to be a mini iron like this, an ironing board, or a wool pressing mat. You don't have to have the wool pressing mat. I just have one because of my quilting, but they are a game changer, but it's not considered a basic supply. It's more of a supply to think of more in the future. But yeah, definitely an iron as well. Okay, so I was saying in the next video, I will show you how to start your basting so you can get some of your templates and your hexagons prepared to get you started. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. I know this video was kind of all over, but if you do have any questions, please comment down below. If you don't want to leave a comment down below, you can always email me at jsnc18@gmail.com. Please feel free to email me, but please only keep the emails to related to what the videos are, or maybe if you want to maybe do like a collaboration or something like that, please do it as an email. Don't leave the collaboration in the comments down below. Just for I'm sorry, Luna came in and kind of startled me there. Yes, please use the email if you'd like to do any kind of like collaboration or anything like that. That way we can communicate that way a little bit easier than having it in the comments. Please stay tuned for the next video, and we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.